Welcome back. The details. Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli stressed the importance of health tourism and its role in attracting investments. Madbouli also announced launching the first resort for health tourism in Egypt. We have more details in the coming report.
Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli stressed the importance of the health tourism and its role in attracting investment. He said that the volume of the healthcare market exceeds the gross domestic product of some huge countries like Japan, Germany, or India. Addressing the international conference of the health tourism applications at the new administrative capital, Madbouli pointed that tens of millions of people are crossing the borders of their countries every year to receive health care. In his speech, Madbouli said that Egypt started to put a complete vision for the health tourism due to the great importance, seeking to be a destination of curative tourism due to the Egyptian cities that are qualified for the purpose. Madbouli also announced launching the first resort for the health tourism in Egypt. Addressing the International Conference of Health Tourism Applications in the new administrative capital, Presidential Health Advisor Mohammed Awad Tajuddin said that the state is giving great importance to the health tourism due to its important role in boosting the national economy, according to the directives of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. Tajuddin added that the conference comprises great Egyptian and global experts to discuss the future means of cooperation and the exchange of expertise to achieve the sustainable development and upgrade the health level of the citizens. Addressing the conference, South Sinai Governor stressed the importance of the health tourism as a source of national income. He also explained that Egypt witnessed several health tourism projects in recent years due to having factors that put it on top of this kind of tourism.
Egypt resumes efforts to support Palestinians upon directives of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. The General Commander of the Armed Forces issued orders to prepare military planes loaded with tons of food materials and urgent humanitarian aid for the Gaza Strip to ease the suffering of Gaza people. Airdrop operations of aid were carried out on various spots of northern Gaza to meet the urgent needs of the Palestinian brothers. And on the ground, the health ministry in Gaza said the wartime death toll in the Palestinian territories had reached 30,000 to 320 people after 92 new fatalities were recorded in the previous 24 hours alone. Meanwhile, a UN team has reported seeing a large number of gunshot wounds among Gazans after Israeli occupation troops opened fire near an aid convoy, an incident which highlighted near famine conditions after nearly 5 months of genocide war.
World leaders have called for an investigation and the ceasefire nearly 5 months into the Gaza war after dozens of desperate Palestinians were killed rushing an aid convoy. Vowing to do more to address the worsening humanitarian situation, U.S. President Joe Biden said that the United States would start delivering relief supplies in Gaza through the airdrops, as some of its allies have already in a bid to get aid into the hard-to-reach areas. Israeli troops opened fire as the Palestinian civilians scrambled for food supplies during a chaotic melee on Thursday that the Palestinian Health Ministry said killed more than 100 people in Gaza City. The deaths came after a World Food Programme official had warned if nothing changes, a famine is imminent in northern Gaza. The Israeli military claimed that a stampede occurred when thousands of Gazans surrounded the convoy of 38 aid trucks, leading to dozens of deaths and injuries, including some who were run over. Gaza's health ministry called it a massacre and said 115 people were killed and more than 750 wounded. A UN team that visited some of the wounded in Gaza City's Shifa hospital on Friday saw a large number of gunshot wounds. The hospital received 70 of the dead and treated more than 700 wounded, of whom around 200 were still there during the team's visit. The aid convoy deaths helped push the number of the Palestinian war dead in Gaza to 30,228, mostly women and children, according to the latest toll from the territory's health ministry.
American President Joe Biden said that the United States would start to deliver relief supplies from the air into Gaza, a day after the deaths of more than 104 Palestinians at an aid convoy. Biden has pushed Israel to reduce civilian casualties and allow aid in, while at the same time he has maintained military assistance for the key U.S. ally. Biden said later he was hoping for a deal on a 6-week ceasefire by the holy month of Ramadan, which will start on March 11th. Ceasefire talks have been complicated by Thursday's incident in which dozens of desperate Palestinians were martyred rushing an aid convoy in northern Gaza. African Union Commissioner Moussa Faqih Mohammed accused Israel of mass killing of Palestinians and urged an international probe after dozens died following a rush on an aid convoy in Gaza. The bloc said in a statement that Mohammed strongly condemns the attack by Israeli occupation forces that killed and wounded more than 100 Palestinians seeking life-saving humanitarian aid. The chairperson calls for an international investigation into the incident to bring the perpetrators to account, urging an immediate and unconditional, sustainable, comprehensive ceasefire. Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry participated in the Gaza Contact Group session on the sidelines of the Antalya Diplomacy Forum in Turkey. Speaking at the same panel with Shoukry, Palestinian Foreign Minister Riyad al-Maliki said Israel would not announce a ceasefire unless international pressure is imposed on the Israeli government. Details.
Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry said that Cairo was hopeful that talks initiated by Qatar could agree on a ceasefire in Gaza before the start of the Muslim fasting month of Ramadan. Gaza truce talks have been taking place in Paris since last week in what appears to be the most serious push for weeks to halt the fighting in the Palestinian enclave between the Israeli forces and Hamas militants and to secure the release of the Israeli and the foreign hostages. Minister Sameh Shoukry said that the Antalya Diplomacy Forum in Turkey that a point of understanding have not been reached, but all the parts exert every effort. He added that hopefully we can reach a cessation of hostilities and exchange of hostages. A proposed deal from the start of Ramadan on March the 10th and the 11th includes a 40-day pause in all military operations and the exchange of Palestinian prisoners for the Israeli hostages at a ratio of 10-1. Shoukry said that we will continue to strive in collaboration with the United Nations, with our partners to receive the suffering of the Gazan people and to increase the level of aid. Palestinian Foreign Minister Riyad al-Maliki, speaking at the same panel with Shoukry, said that Israel would not announce a ceasefire unless the international pressure is imposed on the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government.
Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry stressed that Egypt is proud of brotherly ties with Qatar and the remarkable levels both countries have reached in bilateral cooperation as part of keenness of the leadership of both countries to develop this cooperation and develop it in a way that meets the aspirations of the two countries. This came in a meeting held by Shoukry with Qatari Prime and Foreign Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman bin Jassim Al Thani in Doha ahead of launching the higher joint committee between the two countries. For his part, the Qatari minister expressed his appreciation to the close ties with Egypt and the lead that bilateral relations witnessed recently. During the meeting, both sides also reviewed investment opportunities. They also reviewed the Gaza war and the humanitarian crisis there.